Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
Happy Saturday.
Best day of the week.
Absolutely. Welcome to Around the House with Eric G. I'm Eric G.
I'm Dane Vodder.
We're having fun out here at the Northwest Natural Parade of Homes. We're out here in beautiful Camas, Washington, having a great afternoon. You should be here. If you're on the way here, there's great parking. I even saw lobster rolls over there at the little food court thing here that looked pretty solid.
That's where I'm going after the show's done.
I even saw some cocktails farther down, which was speaking my language as well. But for good radio, we're going to hold off until after the show. Well, welcome here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here on Around the House. We've got a fun day ahead. We're going to be talking about all these beautiful homes, and I tell you what, there are some amazing homes out here. We're here at the Timberline, which is house number 10, and I'll tell you a little bit about this place. I really like it, and we'll be talking more about it in the show. But I tell you what, there is a secret passageway to get upstairs, which I thought was cool, the typical sliding bookcase.
You already spoiled my favorite part of this house.
Oh,
like that,
see?
just seeing that, and then the whole bookshelf can kind of come over and completely cover it up. Oh, it's awesome.
But you know something? We want to take your calls today, too. So 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595. I don't care what your home problem is, if it's between the fences, it's around the house, we're here to help you with that, and we'll see if we can solve it, because we're getting into fall here, and there's a big list of stuff coming up ahead that you're going to need to take care of at your place.
You might not even notice this. We're 2 months away from the holidays.
You can stop yourself now.
Yeah, I'll stop talking at this point. Giving everyone an anxiety attack over the radio.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about my 14 fall fixes, and the more I think about it, the longer this list gets. So we're going to talk about some easy fall fixes here in this hour and dive into those a little bit, because there are so many things out there that you should be kind of taking a peek on. And I don't care if you're living in the Northwest or, we've got a nice podcast following on the East Coast. You say podcast? You can check us out all over. This show is rebroadcast in a podcast form after the show ends, and so you can check it out there. But one thing we'd like you to do, because we put up tons of content. We put up more content than any other radio show out there on home improvement. So go over to Facebook and go to Around the House with Eric G, because you're going to find everything there. I mean, we posted up a ton of stuff this week, just as the last week, and then you get to find out what's happening before the show starts, because we tease it over there. So head over to Around the House with Eric G, and then if you need to find like my More Good Day Oregon segments and some of that stuff that you see out there, you can find it all online at the radio show website, which is aroundthehouseonline.com.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about 14 kind of fast fall fixes. I'm going to throw in there that should be kind of your number one right now. And it's a nice day outside, but, we've in the Northwest with all the smoke. We have had months of smoke, and some of you that are listening right now are looking outside going, it's still here. You're right. If you're over in some of our listening audience over there in the east side or in the south, guess what? You guys are still doing smoke. So change that furnace filter. It gets forgotten all the time. I did that segment a year and a half ago with Stephanie Kralovich, and we talked about it, and she's like, I don't think I've done mine for a couple years. And we went and did and changed it, and it kind of looked like a nice blanket, but it made a real big difference once we got that swapped out.
And that was around the time of a really big wildfire in our area.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Even if you did it last year during the Eagle Creek fire or any other major wildfires, you're going to want to check that again.
Well, if you're just running the regular, like 1-inch filters, a lot of those every couple months you should be changing those. So you should be really on top of that. And if you're scratching your head right now and going, I've got heater ducts and AC and I haven't changed it. If you're asking yourself that question, you probably should go get one. Even the big 4-inch or 6-inch ones, those are meant to be changed fairly often. Those are a seasonally kind of thing. And guess what? We're changing seasons. So let's make sure we get those things going, because you can cause a lot of problems if that thing tacos and blows down into your furnace or air conditioner right now. And then you got a much bigger problem.
You got a major fix to take care of at a time where you weren't planning on doing that.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Well, hey, I wanted to talk real quick here before we go out to break. It's been a big subject with Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan.
He went on a podcast of his own.
He did, and it was pretty awesome. And I will say, for all you people out there talking about it, and of course, all the automotive people have been talking about how the stock for Tesla's crashed and everything else. I tell you what, go listen to that podcast. It is good. And the thing I liked about it was Elon Musk talked about, and there's our tie-in with home improvement, he talked in pretty good detail about his new Tesla roof, which is the solar roof that comes out. And it's basically shingles that add as solar power. So they will actually take that shingle, and it will give you energy out of that. So it's pretty cool.
So instead of just having like a flat solar panel on top of your house, it actually looks like a shingled roof, but it's also solar.
But you don't have the big ugly panels up there.
Yep.
So architecturally, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And he talked about a little bit about it. They've been really secretive about it because obviously they're in testing. They came out with it. And the cool thing is with that is, there's a lot of information out there, but there's not a lot of information out there. There's some really cool, pretty pictures, and there's some things about it. You're like, okay, what? I need more information. There's no information.
It's kind of all in the testing phase. So even if you saw pictures now, it might not be what they end up having at the end.
True, but he talks about testing on his house, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
So he started talking about how those efficiencies go and what drives. He was saying that they expect to see the return on those things to cover half to all of your energy in your home and then some.
Wow.
But the funny thing was he was talking about what kind of is the big driver is what you're doing for heating and air conditioning.
Okay.
If you're out in front of the sun all the time and it's 110 degrees outside, then you've got all that heating air conditioning running. Guess what? You're not going to have that efficiency. It's not going to run your whole house.
Yeah.
So that I thought was interesting. So
they'll do like kind of a base power. It'll cover your base power, but if you're really cranking
on
out,
that, you're not going to have it. So that was the interesting part. But now they've got their own battery system for storing power. So then you start getting into, okay, well, and then you can pull off reserve power. So they got a lot of new things coming out. They're going to be very interesting.
I'm very interested to see on how that works and how long you can store power for. And I'm very interested on this.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting subject with that. So it's a stay tuned. I tried to get them on the show here. They are not ready to talk about that stuff publicly, so hopefully I'm okay with that.
Shortly.
But the open invitation still applies because I'd like to hear more about it and see what they're doing about it. They've got the electric car thing down, which means they got the battery thing down, so I'd like to see...
they have the technology.
Yeah. It's just converting into, and as he said in that podcast, I thought this was interesting. He was talking about Elon Musk was that they got to really test the roof out. So they're really testing it in conditions
Weather
to make sure it works.
Yeah.
He goes, putting solar panels up, that's easy. Making something that's going to look and be waterproof, that's a whole other thing that looks pretty good. So, all right, when we come back, we're going to take all your calls at 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595 just as soon as Around the House returns.
Oh, this whole house is getting shaken. This whole house is getting... I said I was afraid to let go.
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. We're having a great time out here. Guess where we're at? We're at the Northwest Natural Parade of Homes, presented by DeWills and Home Street Bank. We're out here having a great time out just outside of Camas Meadows by the golf course over here. And I tell you what, you got to come out here. This show runs Wednesday through Saturday, so September 7th through 23rd, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're out here broadcasting live right now in front of some amazing homes.
You can't miss us. We're right here.
And by the way, hey, I just want to say, though, this segment is brought to you by Western Construction Systems. As cracked or crumbling foundation kills your real estate deal, for a free inspection, contact Western Construction Systems. The integrity of your foundation is their specialty guaranteed, and their CCB number is 94222. That's a good one right there, because I want to talk just for a second about, well, getting ready for fall. Call those guys if you've got that water in your basement or crawl space.
Absolutely.
That's one of their things. And if it happened last year, it's happening this year. And you know something? That's one of those things that it's going to be a big deal if you don't take care of it. And looking at those rain clouds on the horizon, falls back.
I thought it was going to rain earlier today. I was hoping for it.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh, wow. But, it's one of those things that when you're dealing with fall, it's going to creep in and you got to start jumping on that list, which is what we're going to talk about here today, as well as take your calls. And I want to get all your calls here at 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595. One of our great listeners out there mentioned, we were talking in the last segment here a little bit about changing your air filter as part of one of those things. And Aiden made a great comment about changing your in-cabin air filter on your car. So if you've got a newer car, and it's very simple. A lot of cars have them out there. Not a lot of people know they have those. It's an air filter for your heating air conditioning system inside your car.
I might have to go check that after the show.
Yeah. So what happens is, and it's funny, I'll have people talking, they'll call me up, and one of my friends texted me a few weeks ago and said, hey, I'm not getting the air out of my newer car air conditioning. I'm like, did you change the in-cabin filter? Is there one? And yeah, it was, with all the dirt and everything else, it looked horrible. I got a picture back, so that was the easy fix. But take care of that one as well. All right, 503-417-9595, and that's 503-417-9595. If you're shy, don't worry. You can email us, ath@kxl.com. Now, I'm not checking emails while we're out here because we're using our internet bandwidth to do a radio show. So it's a little tough on the phones out here, even checking Facebook stuff. So bear with us. I can read it. It's hard to comment back. It's a little slow on the on my phone right now. So we'll get through that.
If we don't get back to you during the show, just wait. We'll get back to you after the show.
We will get back with every single one of you. Hey, we got a call here. Let's try this here. It's always fun in remotes. Rick in Woodland, welcome to Around the House.
How we doing?
Good, man. What can we help you with today?
Well, I'm fighting iron
All
at my house in my water.
Okay. So what kind of, are you coming out of a well? Are you coming out of a city water, or what you got going on?
Coming out of a well.
Okay. So
And it's an iron that you really don't see or taste. It festers for a minute, and then it starts changing color after so long.
Man, so you've got to get that out of there. There's a lot of different ways to do that. How deep is your well, do you know?
168 feet.
Nice and deep. Okay. Good. Well, here's the thing. I would get a hold of somebody like Shiloh Water Systems, and they're not an advertiser in the show. They used to be. I would get a hold of those guys and have them come out and do a lab test and get yourself a lab test on that water. So then you'll kind of know exactly what's in there, and then they can troubleshoot that exactly instead of coming in with some crazy big, huge system. Let's go after what the problems are and leave the good minerals in there that you need to have and keep it tasting like well water. But I would get a hold of them, and they usually do free lab testing for you, and that'll tell you kind of what you got to go after out there.
Perfect.
And it's pretty inexpensive when they first go it like that, so you might have a very simple answer. I've dealt with those guys before. They tested my water, and I realized, I was like, oh, I'm fine. I've got a water softener at my house. It's doing good. And come to find out my water softener was bad, and I didn't even know it. So you might dive into that one. That's probably going to be your best choice to really know what the problem is.
Okay, perfect.
Cool, Rick. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening to Around the House. Let's run out here. Hey, it's Eric with Around the House.
Hey, it's Brahim here. How are you?
Hey, good, buddy. How you doing? Thanks, Brahim.
Yeah, hey, so I have how do you say it? Is it RUD, R-U-D-D, air conditioner?
That's one of them, yeah. RUD, yeah, that's a brand.
Yeah, I love the unit. I've had it like probably 12, 13 years, doesn't hiccup, and we love our air conditioner. I don't know how people live without it, so we turn it on about 68 or 9 and let it rip. So in any case, I had a fuse go out. The thing just quit working, so I thought it was bad, but it wasn't. So he came out and fixed the fuse, and he took it apart a little bit outside, and it was filthy, he said, inside. So he cleaned it out. I've never done this, and he said, that should be done, and it runs much more efficiently now.
Absolutely. I just had, one of our sponsors of the show is Pyramid Heating and Cooling, and I love those guys. They were just out at my house. We did a More Good Day Oregon segment showing about doing that with your cleaning everything out for your furnace, but it's the same kind of thing. You're good to have somebody out there twice a year just servicing that, cleaning it out, and making it efficient, so that way it's saving you money and it's not leaving you hanging like that.
Yeah, Dick, I use like Mike from Morgan Heating. I actually umpire baseball, and he works out of Sandy, and he's one of the kids I've umpired for years at high school level.
Nice.
And he's been great, but I'm just saying this thing really made more difference than I thought. And I've never cleaned it. It's like 12, 13 years old.
It is one of those things that just gets forgotten, and it's one of those things that can really save you on your heating bills too. Because if it's efficient like that, it's saving you money.
And I'd love to have some people call in and say how they live without air conditioning. That's what I want to know.
Oh, man, I'm with you there, brother. Hey, thanks for calling in. I always appreciate you calling into Around the House, man.
Take care, buddy.
You too. All right, great call right there. We want to get more of your calls, 503-417-9595, 503-417-9595.
It's funny that Brahim mentioned that. This year was actually the first year I've ever had air conditioning in the house. So I just kind of dealt with it before. Got fans.
Oh, man.
It's rough, but you did it.
I grew up in the Tri-Cities in Eastern Washington, and if you didn't, you were just dying because you'd have those 110, 112 degree days out there, and that is not comfortable when it's inside. And
even fans blowing 110 degree air on you is not enjoyable.
they call those convection ovens. That is not comfortable stuff. Well, let's see, we got more calls coming in. I do want to take all your calls, and we're going to keep talking about this stuff we're talking about with the fall fixes, because all these maintenance things are going to be great for taking care of your home. One of the things that I always say, it's a forgotten one: clean your vent hood in your kitchen.
Okay.
Get that dialed in. You're going into cooking season, really, for a lot of people. You got the barbecue going outside a lot. Well, now you're starting to get into the fall, and man, you're going to be cooking a little bit more inside. A lot of you that don't have covered patios and stuff, that barbecue type stuff is coming inside. Clean that vent hood up and get it all dialed in. Make sure it's working right. That ventilation and getting all that stuff out of the house, make sure it vents outside your home too. I can't tell you how many times I go into somebody's house and I actually see that they've got that recirculating vent hood and a gas stove. That's not healthy.
No.
Not healthy at all.
Just cycle it back through your house. You don't.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that stuff to get out of the house. You want to have it really going. And then, again, cleaning those things up, rinsing all those things out, cleaning up in there. If you have a greasy hood in there and you have a fire, guess what? You're just lighting the house on fire with that, because that grease is going to catch on fire and you're going to have a hood fire going.
Especially if you're planning on cooking during the holidays. You don't want to screw up your holidays with a fire.
Exactly. 503-417-9595, just as soon as Around the House returns. Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. We are out here live at the Parade of Homes, Northwest Natural Parade of Homes, presented by DeWills and Home Street Bank, out here at Camas Meadows. This is a gorgeous place out here. We're going to talk to Tracy here in just a second. I do want to go through a couple calls here real quick before we get it, because we've got some people waiting here. Steve in Oregon City, welcome to Around the House.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. What can I help you with?
Hey, we're looking at replacing our deck, and I'm thinking this might be a good time of year since some of the companies might be slowing down. We're debating between composite and aluminum, and any recommendations on that?
I love composite decks. I have not dealt with aluminum, but I tell you what, aluminum to me is going to be hot. And I don't want to go walking across, a hot surface when it's baking out in the sunshine out here with these, with these summers we have where we've got these 90-degree days like that. I'm going to assume, unless there's a special coating on that aluminum deck, that's going to be like an aluminum frying pan out there. That's not comfortable to me. Now, there are some great new deckings out there that are doing great jobs of reflecting heat that are in the composites that work really well, that are a cool surface where they're actually a lot cooler. That's kind of the direction I would go with it. But I will tell you right now, if there's a decking company that's slow, you probably are talking to the wrong guy, because you're going to be booked probably into spring right now, and if not into next summer, just to be honest, man.
Okay, well, that'll be something we'll look into. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Hey, Steve, thanks for calling. Thanks for listening to Around the House. We appreciate it. Let's run out here to Mike in Oregon City. Welcome to Around the House.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. What can I help you with?
We're looking at maybe getting into a manufactured home and buying the land, and I don't know what's involved in the land prep. And
depending on what the land looks like, that's the thing. And there's, first off, what I would do is find the land and then find out if you can even put a manufactured home on it. And then second, I would talk to a manufactured home builder out there, the one of the lots, and talk to them about what your plan is that you're trying to do it. But there can be a lot of prep for it. There can be very little depending on the soil conditions and a lot of that out there. I would work with a good manufactured home company, and then I would find a piece of land that you can put that on and marry those two together. But usually going to pour a slab. I would recommend pouring a slab down underneath wherever you're putting that manufactured home and using a fair amount of concrete, because if you just follow the minimums, I've seen some serious problems down the road where those things will move around and slide around, and more concrete's going to be your friend on that kind of deal.
well, they told me 6 inches. I'm thinking a foot.
Well, I don't think you need that much, but in the points where you're going to be putting the jacks, you got the points where you're going to be jacking up and blocking up in there. That's where the important parts are. The rest of it's just keeping rodents and things like that around. But that's what I would do. So.
And what would you think about putting a basement underneath the thing?
I wouldn't. If at that point, I'd build a house, man.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'd be. I'd build a house at that point. If you're going to put a basement down below, but what you're going to have to do with it, I just find yourself a home builder and build a house on it. It's going to be the same price by the time you're done.
All right, thank you so much.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you listening, and good luck out there. That's an interesting one. We want to take all your calls at 503-417-9595, 503-417-9595. But we got the man of the hour here. Welcome, Tracy.
Hi, thanks for having me, Eric.
All right, well, we're out here. Let's talk about your construction company a little bit, because you are the builder of house number 10.
That's right, the Timberline.
The Timberline. This place is gorgeous.
Thank you very much. First of all, my name is Tracy Dorio Construction. I have been a custom home builder in Clark County for 38 years.
You're a legend around these parts, brother.
I'm a legend in my own mind, for sure. So I also wear another hat. I'm the immediate past president of the Building Industry Association, and the BIA is the entity that puts this on, and we've brought the very best and brightest of Clark County together now for 41 years to show the general public the kinds of things that we do.
That is awesome. I'm a former member because I used to work up this way. So impressive organization. I can say that from the inside.
Thank you very much. We work hard.
Yeah, I love this house you did here, and being a certified kitchen designer, I like cabinets. I like dovetail drawer boxes and things like that. I like it when I see quality stuff in a house.
Thank you. We were approached by our good friends at DeWill's Industry, and they made us the offer. They said if we would consider using their cabinetry exclusively, they would be the exclusive cabinet builder to us in the subdivision. So they went nowhere else.
Nice.
So the DeWill's cabinets are featured in our home, and as you say, they're the best. And they've also introduced their new industrial line in our sewing craft area.
That is impressive in there.
It's something that's probably going to cause a divorce in my family. My wife loves them so much that I'm getting a little pressure, but we were very fortunate with this home. We have a client that we built it for that basically gave us carte blanche to do all of the interesting things that we could come up with. They had some fairly strict criteria about the things they wanted. They wanted a huge entertaining area. They didn't want the house cut up into a million pieces. They just liked volume. They liked outdoor living. They liked entertaining. They brought in the specter of timber frame, and when they did that, they let the genie out of the bottle.
Yep.
So they gave us free reign to do some cool things. We had our good friends from Aero Timber consult with us, and believe it or not, those timbers had needles on them 6 months ago.
Wow.
So they cut those trees down and they milled them for us, and this is traditional joined peg and dowel mortise and tenon timber frame.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that coming in. It's like, okay, this is cool.
It's the amazing stuff. It's the real deal, gentlemen.
Yep. And what I like about this out here is this, to me, is what I call a very real parade of homes.
It is.
This is not. There are some massive homes out here, so don't. I'm not saying that this is all like 1,800 square foot homes.
Right.
These are large $1 million homes.
They are.
But there's something that's livable, and this year, out of all the ones I've been to anywhere in the country, is probably the most livable homes that I've seen yet. That, I mean, we don't have any of the crazy canoes coming out of the ceiling and weird stuff like that. this is where the design intents and the livability are really high, which I enjoy.
You know, we are blessed here. We have some of the finest builders. I absolutely love every one of these guys. There's not a builder in this parade that you couldn't engage to do your house and have a home run. Everybody brings a little bit of a different twist to the table. Each guy is a craftsman. They're all highly elevated in this art. Just wonderful folks. We have had the best time. The gentlemen that have worked with me on building all of these homes, it's been a wonderful partnership, and we've all helped each other out. We all pull for one another.
Absolutely.
It's a great group.
Yeah, this is a great tour out here, and it's worthwhile to get in your car and head out here. I mean, I live out in Bethany. It didn't take me that long to get over here across the river, so there's no excuse for you guys out there in the Portland area to get up here as well. This is worth the trip up here, and I saw lobster rolls down there. That was pretty cool.
I think you did. I might find those myself.
Right? So come out, have lunch, have dinner, whatever out here. Have some good food and
take a look at 10 awesome houses.
Yeah, and there's even a beer garden down there if you get parched from walking. But the other thing is, this is pretty flat lay. I've been to other ones where there's some hikes, and this is a pretty easy walk, so there's no excuse to get out here.
That's right, and we're open from 10 to 8 every day except Monday and Tuesday, and we run till the 23rd of September, so there really is no excuse not to come out and see the best and the brightest of Clark County.
And we're out here broadcasting from the opening weekend, so plan ahead to get out here, because it's definitely worth taking a look at it. So what's one of the favorite features before we go out to break? What's one of your favorite features of the house that you really fell in love with?
When the owner asked us to put an isolated room into this house for their daughter when she came home for college, they brought up the idea of a hidden bookcase. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed the hidden bookcase and ran with it, and I engineered a system that actually will pneumatically open and close that. I was so busy I didn't get a chance to make the final connection, so I will do that on my day off Monday and Tuesday, and that will be automated when folks come back.
That's awesome.
It definitely, when it's closed, it's a bookcase. The DeWills folks did an excellent job on that, and if I can manage to finish it up, it'll be great. It's like I always say at Dorio Construction, there is no off switch to genius.
That's awesome.
Well done, well done. Well, thanks for coming on with us here. We're going to go out to break because it's that time. We want you to join the conversation at 503-417-9595. 503-417-9595 just as soon as Around the House returns.
There's a place where...
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. We are broadcasting live out here and talking home improvement. We're at the Northwest Natural Parade of Homes, presented by DeWills Home Street Bank. We're at the Parklands at Camas Meadows. This is where you can come out and take a look at a ton of great homes. So come on and join us out here for the next hour. We're going to be here broadcasting live till 2 o'clock, and then maybe hanging out and checking things out for a few minutes afterwards.
I'll be here for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, this segment Around the House is brought to you by Dare Homes, building quality custom homes throughout the Pacific Northwest. For nearly 50 years, find a design center near you at adarehomes.com. And that's CCB number 593. We've had people patiently waiting out here on the phone. Let's jump out here to Don in Hillsboro. Welcome to Around the House.
Hello.
Hey, what can we help you with today, man?
Well, I heard your caller called in about the aluminum deck.
Yeah.
And there's an aluminum deck called, I believe it's called Walk Dry by Nexon or something like that. You can find it on the web. They've actually got temperature readings using a temperature gun of aluminum and composite. And surprisingly, the aluminum is actually a little bit lower in temperature in direct sunlight than the composite.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with some of the new coatings and stuff out there. There's some composites out there that have 20 and 30% heat reduction on them, and I'm sure they're using that same technology on the aluminum. So, yeah, we're right at the beginning of where you're starting to see that for roofs and for decking and stuff, where that technology is going to start playing a big part in the decking industry as well as the roofing industry.
Right. The other thing about the Walk Dry is it actually has a water channel in it, and if you put it together the right way, you will have a completely dry space under your deck. And for those of us that have second-story decks, a lot of times we want that completely dry underneath. And so I just thought I would add that to your conversation for hopefully the person that's still on that
Oh yeah, that's great. I wonder how that stuff does with the troubles that those decking systems have had in the past. Is that those channels have gotten filled up with pine needles or leaves and things like that, and those have gotten plugged up. Have you had any experience with this product?
Yeah, quite a bit of experience, and all of my friends that put in wood decks or composite decks in the first 20 years end up replacing them, and these things keep going. Now,
nice,
of course,
man.
You've got to do it according to manufacturer's recommendations, and yes, you've got to make sure you usually put a gutter on the end of the thing so that the water drains off on the end where it drains to, and then you got to make sure that if it's running from the house side to an outside edge, because you've got to slant it a little bit. You've got to put a little bit of slope on it so the water will run. You've got to make sure that you don't have a lot of stuff building up in that and then getting down inside there.
All right. Well, thanks, Don. Hey, I appreciate your calling in and giving us some more information on that system, and thanks for listening to Around the House.
Yeah, and thanks for your show.
Hey, man, thanks. Appreciate it. Let's run out here to Larry in Albany real quick. He's been patiently waiting. Welcome to Around the House.
Oh, thank you. Afternoon, gentlemen. I have a question for you. I have a house that's built in 71. It has a chimney, and that wall, it settles a lot. And we had Ramjack come out a few years ago, cleaned it up a lot, but it's still settling a little bit. And my question is would it be worth getting rid of the chimney? I'm thinking, in my logic, of course, I'm a truck driver, it's all that weight, and if I got rid of the chimney, it would stop it from settling.
Well, so did Ramjack come out and put helical piers in for you out there? What did they do?
Yeah, they did, but we still got just a little bit of settling on one of the walls, and so.
I'll be honest.
We don't have
nothing against Ramjack. I would have them come out and take a look at it before you did that, because usually companies that do the helical piers like that offer lifetime warranties on movement on those things. So if they got those things far enough down, you shouldn't have any more settling with that if those piers are in there. So I would give them a call and have them come out and take a look at it. They might need to drop another pier in for you, and then you got an easy fix versus having to tear the whole thing out.
So just a little bit more cracking. Is that considered settling, or am I mixing things up here?
Well, I mean, cracking could just be cracking it where it needs some maintenance on it. But if it's moving, or it looks like that it's moving. Now, the two things that could be happening, though, is that thing could be solid and the rest of the house could be moving a little bit, too. And I've seen that with our clay soils around here with that. You'll get, especially if you don't water the lawn or the area around your home. So if you don't have a sprinkler system going, or that clay soil gets dry out, that house will move more because that clay that the house is sitting on is actually contracting. And then as soon as you get the little bit of moisture in it, it moves again. So this is the fall time of year. We start to get the rains that we start to see a lot more movement of houses, especially when there hasn't been any lawn care type watering around the outside of the house right there. So you'll see more movement that way versus having just a sprinkler system and constant moisture in that soil.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate your time.
All right, man. Good luck out there. Thanks for calling into Around the House. 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595. Tune back. A lot more Around the House just around the corner.
We have some exciting news about the Around the House podcast. Do you want to be an Around the House insider? Our premium membership gives you early access to the weekend podcast, exclusive access to our back catalog of shows, special email access to me, Eric G., with your own home improvement questions with a priority email address, plus exclusive new shows and extended content. Click down into the podcast show notes for the link to the Around the House Insider membership for less than the price of a beer at happy hour. Join me for this limited amount of exclusive members. And thanks for listening to Around the House.